A boom, a boom, a boom, 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 boom. Nah, I ain't got it. No DG tonight. No music. But that's all right because we are here. Welcome to Sports After Dark, After Hours, people. I was going to rap, sing a little something, something, but I ain't want to, I probably a better rapper than my guys here. Didn't really want to embarrass nobody because I dropped bars. I got hot fire. I spit it like Dylon bar. And I didn't want to embarrass anybody tonight. So it's cool. No DJ in the house, but that's all right because we rocking and rolling. What's up, my guys? Gunnos, Heavy, Lou. Welcome to Sports After Dark, After Hours, my people. How y'all feeling?
We're feeling good, feeling good.
What's
Another
good?
week in the books. Week 5 of the show,
week
right?
in the
Week
books.
5.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did y'all want me to rap?
You
I
was
can
supposed to do a weem
No.
away, a weem
No.
away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. I thought you was going.
No.
Thought you gonna get your
In
Lion King on.
honor of the Alabama brawl. Fade in the water. Fade in the water. Shout out to my brothers and sisters down in Alabama. Yo, the Alabama brawl was insane, man. Listen, I love us. I really do love us. I love us when stuff like that happen, and I love us when you see the aftermath on social media. The memes, the jokes, like this is why, oh God, this is why Twitter can't go away. This is why Twitter can't go away, man, because it's no place like Twitter when that kind of stuff goes
What's
down.
Twitter? It's X.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
X now.
You was
X.
supposed to.
See, Lou, you're not calling it X, see, Lou?
No, I know that's Twitter, man.
I'm calling it Twitter X. That's what I call
That's
it.
all I
Twitter
know.
X.
Twitter
Okay.
X is crazy.
Okay.
Rest in peace and DMX, man.
Twitter X.
That's the only X I know, man.
That's crazy. Twitter X. What up, Ray? What up, G? What up, Sports for You? Again, we're here, week 5. I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. We need to just go ahead and jump right into it. Again, shout out to those great people down in Alabama. We see y'all. We see y'all. We see y'all in DC. We see y'all in LA. We see y'all in Philly. We see y'all in Seattle. Shout out to Seattle's own Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson and Sierra. Congratulations. What's this, baby number 4 for them? Like baby 3, baby 4, something like that? Yeah,
I think it's their third together.
We're getting
They're-
all the
they third
congratulations and the thank yous out of the way
Good job.
at the top of the show. My guys, why do I feel like it's always so much damn sports to talk about once we get on this show every week? It's just always
Maybe
something.
not.
It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Just hold on. We're coming home. Mark, me and you got some issues to discuss, my boy. We starting with the holdouts, man. We're gonna start with the holdouts. Zack Martin, Chris Jones. I said to my guys over the weekend, I said, bro, if Zack Martin don't, sign by Tuesday, we gotta talk like what. And of course, my owner Jerry Jones decides to, give us a little ammo. Why can't Jerry be quiet like your folks in Kansas City, Mark? Y'all know that Chris Jones is coming back. There's nothing to discuss. Y'all, we know that the signing is coming. But my folks got to add fuel to the fire. But it's all right. We starting there, man. We're starting in Kansas City with Chris Jones, somebody that I put money down to win Defensive Player of the Year in addition to Micah because Mark told me to. Because it could happen. Gunnels, I'm coming to you first, man. First and foremost, the update. I should have put this on the show, but it was a nice tweet from Chris Jones. KC... ... I love you. Is that a I love you or I love you?
Well, here's the thing. He's tweeted that before in the past. It's not like a new tweet that he's just done today. He's said that like several times. If you type in his name and type in I love you, you see a lot of those tweets. But it's just now the timing of it, people are going to blow it out of proportions. But I mean, at the end of the day, the question mark is, will he be a Chief in 2024? Because he's under contract for this season. He's going to play this year. It's just, will he be there beyond this season? And I don't think it's such a foregone conclusion as you think that a deal is going to get done. I don't think it's that easy. because he's talking about, or at least the reports are saying he wants $30 million a year. If you know anything about the Chiefs and our general manager Brett Veach, he has a number in his mind, and he doesn't really go off that number. That's why we traded Tyreek Hill, because we gave him a number. He didn't think it was enough, and he's requested a trade. And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna move off you. If you're not Mahomes or Travis Kelce, and I disagree with this, I think Chris Jones should be in that category with those guys. But if you're not one of those guys, in Brett Veach's mind, he probably thinks you could just move on and the show will continue to go. But we don't have Chris Jones beyond this year. Obviously, you still have a draft and free agency and stuff, but Chris Jones just voted the top number 10 player in the world by his peers. Like, this guy is one of the best defensive players in the league, if not the best. You can make an argument. So we will definitely take a step back defensively in 2024 if we do not have him on the roster. So I wouldn't want to give him $30 million a year. That's a little too rich for my blood. But if it came down to it, if I can keep him for another 3 or 4 years, I probably would fold and just give him the money.
I feel like Chiefs fans, I feel like y'all are cheap in general. If it's not Mahomes or Kelce asking for that kind of bag, like you just said, y'all just not giving it to him. And I feel like that okay, so is he like a generational player to y'all?
I wouldn't say generational. That's a big word, but he's elite. He's really, elite. Really good. Yeah.
And happens to be on your team where people have kind of downplayed y'all's defense over the years in the Patrick Mahomes era. So, talk to me, Have Gunnels. That's gonna be tough. Before I come to y'all, do you think that this happens before the season mark, or is it gonna go into the season and then y'all will sign them? Like, what you see? How do you see that unfolding?
I think at this point it's gonna go into the season, because I thought if it would have got done, it would have been done by now. So the fact that we're approaching game 1 of the preseason this Sunday for the Chiefs, and the deal still hasn't got done yet. So I would lean towards it's going into the season.
And he wants that is a certain. He wants $30 million.
That's been the report. He wants to be just a little under Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald, I think, is getting 31.5 or 32 a year. So he said he's cool being number 2, but it has to be really close. So we'll see.
Talk to me, Have. Chris Jones.
I'm with Mark. I think it goes into the season too. Because I don't know Kansas City as well. You know, I mean, shout out to my boy Mark Gunnels, our DJ. A few of Kansas City people I know, they made me more hip to Kansas City. But what I've seen from afar, they pay their players. And for them not to give Chris Jones his money yet is giving off like it's going to go into the season. My personal opinion is I think he finishes out the season and he go gets his bag somewhere else. I don't like Mark said, this is his third contract. I don't know if they want to give him that much money. You know what I mean? Even though Chris Jones deserves it, for sure. He had a career year. You know what I mean? Like, he dominated. So he deserved his money. I just don't think it's going to be in Kansas City. I feel like Chris Jones is going to finish the year out, which is a nice chunk of money. I think my boy Lou told me behind the scene that if he miss a game, that'll be $1.5 million a game. He damn sure ain't going to let that walk off the table. He gonna make that money. I just think at the end of the year, he going to bounce and get his check somewhere else.
That's a lot of money. $1.5 million a game?
A game, that's a yeah.
So it's safe to say he won't miss no games.
No, he ain't gonna do that.
And then at camp, he's missing out on he gets fined $50,000 every day he misses. So far it's up to, I think, $850K.
I think like Zack Martin is right behind that, and like $600,000 or $700,000 as
well. Yeah. I think Zack is like $650 now, because I think yesterday they said Zack was at $600,000.
Yeah, because our camp started earlier. That makes
sense. Correct.
Yeah, so I think Zack is like $650 right now.
Here's what sucks is I feel like y'all don't need a top defense to win championships. And that's like the reason why y'all ain't pressing to sign him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all don't need this Legion of Boom style defense to go out here and win championships. And that has to be kind of frustrating for anybody on y'all team outside of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Like y'all can go. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. And we should have. You're right, Mark. We should have seen if y'all let Tariq walk and then won a Super Bowl. Like what? Like what? Talk to me, Lou. Like we should. Yeah. We see it coming. That is kind of crazy. I agree with Gunnels though. With Hev, I think that y'all probably won't have him next year.
Before you go, Lou, my man G said he proud that you took that
Yeah, I
Ravens
saw
joint.
that. Yeah, I saw that. So he probably took the Ravens John down. Hey, listen, man. It's my son's joint, but whatever.
Yeah. Talk to me, love.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in unison with all of y'all. I do think that he plays out this season because, like Heavy said, he missed a game. I think his cap hit like 29 million this year. So if he missed a game, that's 1.5 million over the course of 18 weeks. And I don't think he's gonna miss those game checks. So I do think he plays out this year, but I think he goes and finds his bag somewhere else at the end of the season, maybe somewhere like a 3-year, $90 million deal. If he really wants 30 million a year. But I also think that depends on how he plays this year. And to be honest, I mean, 3 years, because he's 29 and I think like 43 days old or something like that. So even 3 years, that puts him at 32 by the time his contract is up. So
Hey, Lou.
I don't know.
Hey, Lou.
What's
Hey,
up?
Lou.
What's up?
Early. If he don't stay with the Chiefs, where can y'all see him going?
If he don't stay with the Chiefs,
Yeah. What teams could y'all see jumping in that conversation next season?
The
Don't say the
Bears.
49ers.
the
shoot.
Bears.
The
I could
Bears.
see the Bears. I could definitely see the Bears. That would be
Ooh.
nasty.
And they got the
Because
money.
and if you know, I don't know if you guys know, but their current GM used to be in the Chiefs front office.
Yeah, Poles was over there.
Yeah.
I did
So-
not know that.
So that makes sense. That makes a lot of
groomed-
sense.
We groomed him basically. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Poles was under Chris Ballard when he was over there with Kansas
Yeah.
City, and then Ballard came to Indy and all that. So yeah,
And they got the money. Chicago got a lot of money.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
Chicago got a lot
of
They
bread.
got the money to pay him.
They got a lot of
And
bread.
they're
I
building.
mean,
They're
shoot.
building.
I mean, shoot, since you brought it up,
Oh my life! This, I just say,
What
why
we
does this man
could do
he
is
want everybody?
This is
Y'all
what we
can't
could
afford
do.
Chris Jones.
this is what we could do. You know, Ark Armstead is making a lot of money. If we could trade him up out of there, we'll definitely have the money for Chris Jones. Hey, Chris, listen, come on, bro. You know what's going on. Y'all played us in the Super Bowl, bro. You know.
This dude had wants the greatest defensive line ever.
Oh,
Like,
of all time.
Hey,
listen,
Mark.
hey, listen.
Hey, Mark, if you could do
Available.
it on Matt, hey, Mark, if you could do it on Matt, why can't we do it in real life?
That's disgusting.
Hey,
I'm
listen, if Indy got him and paired him with Buckner, that would be disgusting.
Well, y'all already know how nasty he'll be with the Cowboys.
Oh, hell no.
oh,
Hell
yeah,
no.
I mean,
He put him.
know,
You,
like
put,
I
you
s-
put him with Micah. That wouldn't be fair, dog.
like I said, it's
And
definitely,
Mozzie.
it's definitely a possibility that this could be his last year in Kansas City. I don't want that. But the only caveat to this that does help us for this year, he's going to be super motivated to play well to get that bag. So it's going to help us for this year at
Mm.
least. Now, beyond that, but this year he should be super, super motivated.
What's the odds on defensive player of the year for Chris Jones? Was it plus
It was like plus what?
800?
1600?
Oh, it was 16?
It's plus 1,600.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was like plus 1,600. I think last
Yeah.
time we
Oh,
talked,
I'm
it was like
putting
plus
some
1,600.
bread. I'm putting
So-
some bread on that.
I would like that even more if he doesn't get the extension.
For
It's
sure.
Oh yeah, because
so
he's gonna go
Yeah,
crazy.
sure.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's gonna
I'm
want to
putting
get
some-
paid
I'm
wherever he
money
goes.
on. I'm putting some money on that.
And if he goes somewhere like the Bears, he probably could make more than Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
He's probably just
Yeah.
looking to take less because he know that the Chiefs ain't gonna give him that. But if he goes somewhere that got the bread, oh man, well he can't come
Hey.
in Dallas. We ain't got it.
Hey, our DJ
DG
said.
said-
Our
DG
DJ
said
said,
it's
it's,
plus-
yeah.
You say he plus 2,500 on DraftKings.
25.
Yeah, I
That's
was
a
gonna
layup.
say he's plus 2,500. I was just
That's a
looking
layup.
on
I'm putting-
FanDuel.
Is that
Hey,
on
I'm putting-
FanDuel too?
Yeah,
Is that on
plus
FanDuel? Yeah, somebody
2,500.
let us know if that's.
Yup.
Y'all let us know in the comments. What's up,
I'm-
everybody in the
I'm
comments?
telling y'all right
Leave
now,
a comment.
I got it.
Why is his
pulled it up.
odds so
Plus
crazy
25.
like that?
I'm putting
That is-
$20 on that. 20 to win 500. That's a layup.
Yeah, plus
Oh,
2,500.
That's
yup.
easy.
That's
I'm putting
crazy.
$20
Well,
on that.
welcome to Sports After Dark Sportsbook, people. We will definitely be putting some money if we haven't
For
already
sure.
on Chris Jones. Yeah, DG said he already placed his bet.
He already
to
placed
win
his bet.
Defensive Player of
The
the Year.
DJ said he already on it.
Yeah. Also, you might want to put some money on Micah Parsons. DPOY.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some money on Micah. I'm gonna
It's
put some money on
definitely
Micah.
happening. A little spring. I don't know how good Micah's odds are. What is his odds? Because we got to swing the
Hold
Dallas. We
on.
got to
He's
talk
probably
about
one of the,
Martin.
he's probably one of the top
He's
favorites.
the favorite. He's the favorite.
I
Plus
know he is.
600.
What is it?
Plus
600.
600.
Plus 600.
yes.
That's
yes.
not right.
Yeah.
And who's
that's
after
okay.
him? Who's the next closest?
Probably both.
Miles Garrett and then
Myles
TJ
Garrett.
Watt.
And then Bosa.
Bosa's plus 1,200.
Well, it's hard. It's
Bosa
hard
not.
to win back. You're not gonna win back to back.
Yeah,
It's
you're not
hard.
gonna
Yeah,
win
that's
it back to
what I'm
back.
saying.
It's hard
That's
to
a voter
repeat.
thing.
Yeah.
Like they don't
You're not gonna
expect
win
the
it back
voters
to
to
back.
vote
So I
him in
wouldn't.
back to back.
I would put my money on Micah and Chris Jones. That's
For
who I would
sure.
put my money on.
Me too. I'd
Yeah.
go down the
Yeah.
board a bit. All right.
Yeah.
So speaking of Micah, thanks for bringing him up, Shooter. The Dallas Cowboys, man, they also have somebody in a holdout state, as I mentioned earlier, when the show started, Mr. Zack Martin, Cowboys right guard. I'll start this off. I'll take this first. Listen,
Go ahead, Shooter. Go
I
get
wrote
your
a
prize
letter.
out now.
I wrote a letter for Zach.
A 4-page letter like Aaliyah?
Dear Zack Martin, we need you in the trenches. Yes, we do. We need you. We love you. We'd cry boohoo if you didn't come back to us and do your thing. I don't know if we could win a ring. Make sure you come back. Don't continue to get fined. If you come back, everything will be fine. I'm, signed, love Ashley Baker, whatever it is that you need from me, Zack Martin. Let me tell you something. Me personally, I don't think that Zack Martin is going to continue to take the fines. I think that we will see Zack Martin relatively soon. As y'all mentioned, he's around $600,000-$700,000 in debt. If first of all, my owner would definitely pick up the tab on that. Once they sign him, I could see my owner doing that. But I'm gonna take kind of what I heard somebody say in one of Nick's spaces. Shout out to Nick's, because I think that this is where we are as well. I don't think it's a matter of us like with the deal with Zack Martin. Like if the deal is gonna happen, I just think that they're trying to figure out like the numbers on everything. I think that it's gonna happen. The contract is in place, the years are in place, but they're trying to like move the numbers around. And as we kind of talked about before the show started, I don't know if it was at the beginning of the show. Dallas is great at restructuring contracts, getting folks their bag. It always bite us in the butt at the tail end of their contracts. But if it's one thing that my owner does is he is not stingy with the bag. I don't expect him to be stingy with this Zack Martin bag. I expect this deal actually to get done this week before this first preseason game. I think that we'll have a deal in place, and Zack Martin he probably won't go, but he will be available as an option for the preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's where I am. We know how desperately we need Zack Martin. My guy, Ball, he's cool. He ain't no damn Zack Martin. So we need to go ahead and slide him out, get Zack in some pads, baby, get him to practicing. So y'all can really see what we're working with out there. I'm excited. Yeah.
So
yeah,
just
he
for
is getting paid.
clarity,
He's definitely getting paid. He's getting paid for sure. Ain't nobody. I'm not. Listen, it would be very Jerry Jones-esque to think. I mean, he made these comments. Would y'all say the comments said, "Oh, we need to just continue on without him"?
Move on.
Yeah,
pretty much,
he moving on like Maya for sure.
Yeah,
He
but he's
moving
just
on.
talking about in the sense of, listen, we got to focus on the guys that are here. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. The guys that are here at practice, this man it's his bag. He has every right to like not play if y'all not trying to like give him his bag in the extension. So, but I think that we'll have a signing by Zack Martin by the end of the week. I do not think preseason starts without that man having his bag.
So how many years does he have left on his current contract?
I think
he
like
has 2 years left.
So why is it such a pressing need to get it done now? I'm kind of
It's
confused
him.
on that.
You know what it was, Mark? He got a 99 on Madden. He said, "Oh, y'all gave me a
wow.
99."
Well, not
Okay.
hey, but not only that,
Hey,
you
Jerry.
have two other.
And I'll say this: Zack just got extended, I believe, and I
He
think
got
that
extended like what was it?
I
It
think
was
he
probably
resigned
like
or something.
a few years ago.
I don't think it was that long ago.
It had to have been because he's on his 3rd year of that contract.
I think that
It was a
there's
6-year. It was a 6-year contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or not the
there-
3rd year. My bad. He's towards the end. Yeah, it was a 6-year
I
contract.
think it's the same thing that Mark is saying. That their thing is like, all right, we back at this again. But I mean, why not? It's Zack Martin. Like, come on, man. Like he's a sure Hall of Famer at this point. The man is a dog. There's not many flaws in the man's game. Like, he's one of those players. He is like a Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, where I can say what I want when I want it. And for real, y'all need to drop the bag, because we already know, like, the development that it could take for the younger, like linebacker, or the younger individuals on the line to learn and really be like locked into their position. That's going to take some time. You know what I mean? We are not fans of Ball. That's his backup. So he is like that person on the team. He is the one silver lining on the Dallas Cowboys that literally has zero flaw in his game. He won his bag. So I think that's what
he
it
was
is, Mark. Like,
he was a first team All Pro last year. Like, I mean,
yeah.
even at the age of 32, he was still a first team All Pro. And the thing is, like, I think Mark, you had asked, like, why is it so pressing for him to get his bag? He's like on at like average pay, right? He's the 8th highest paid guard. When you have guards like Quentin Nelson and who's the other one, Chris Lindstrom, making $20 million a year, and he's making $11 million a year, or $14 million a year. He want his money. Like, he want to get paid. He's towards the end of a 6-year contract that he signed in 2018. So he wants to get his last paycheck. Just like, I mean, it's just the same with Chris Jones. They want their last bag before they ride off into the sunset. I mean, that's the way I see it, to be honest.
Yeah,
like, he wants his
sense.
money. Yeah.
That makes sense.
First and foremost, Shaggy, I didn't know CD's name was Sedarian Lamb. That's a crazy
Me
name.
neither. When he said that, I was like, "What's up, Shaggy?" When he said that, I was like, and that's another thing. We got to pay
Sedarian is wild.
Sedarian is disgusting. Call that.
Is that his real name? Or oh yeah, it is his real name.
I believe that's his real name. Shaggy put that joint in all caps. Shout out to Brody Shaggy. I see him in the
that's his name. That's his real name. I just looked
Sedarian is wild.
Sedarian is crazy. Sedarian is wild.
I mean, it's just like Julio. It's just like Julio's real name.
I ain't gonna lie, my
real
players
name is crazy.
My players got some, you know. My names is we real unique with the names. Rain, Sedarian.
Rain is crazy. Sedarian is wild
Rain,
though. That sounds like a car. Sedarian. That sounds like a wheel.
That's Sedarian in 2024.
That's a
Julio joint is like Quintarius or something like that. Julio's is
that's
like
that's wild too. But you know, let me tell you something, Shooter. Zack Martin don't want to leave, but he got to go right now, as Trey Songz was singing. He up out of there because Jerry not paying him. So, I'm just trolling real quick. Because listen, let me tell you something, Zack Martin. You can come back. Just come back after week 5, bro. Zach.
After week 5,
back after week 5. Yeah, after week 5, you can come back, bro.
Yeah, that must be after the Niners game.
For sure, he knows what's up.
Hey, you know what y'all can do? Or y'all know what y'all can do? Zack Martin for JT, even trade, baby.
Look,
we need a right guard. Let's
can I say
and they need a running back?
Now that is Jerry Jones's. That and that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so real quick, Lou, tell us what you was telling us backstage, like with JT. What's going on, real quick?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, y'all saw the reports about the Colts wanting Kareem Hunt, so they called Kareem Hunt, according to Diana Rossini. They called Kareem Hunt before he took the field for the Saints, you know, to do his little workout or whatever, and pretty much told him, we'll pay you more. Like, we'll pay you more money. So apparently they're really interested in Kareem Hunt. He's supposed to go visit the team tomorrow. If we sign Kareem Hunt, especially after signing King and Drake, and then with the young running backs that we have, part of me feels like either JT is up out of there or the injury is a lot worse than what people are saying or leading on. And that goes for JT, his agent, and the team, which the Colts are known for hiding these injuries. And then it comes out that something was worse. Look at Shaq Leonard last year. After that 2021 season, it just seems like either the injury is worse or he's up out of there if we end up signing Kareem Hunt, because you don't sign a starting caliber running back when you plan on getting your star running back.
Can I ask you a question?
This part of me feels like he's gone.
Am I tripping? Is Kareem Hunt still that good? I'm tripping.
He's still pretty good.
He's pretty good. I will think. I think
he was solid with Cleveland.
I think Kareem Hunt will be pretty good in their offense.
Yeah,
like,
he just didn't have. It was just a lack of opportunity because you're behind Nick Chubb.
I agree, Mark. He had Nick Chubb in front of him.
And with us, with us, you have Zach Moss, and I mean, even though he just broke his arm or whatever, but he should be back by like week 1, week 2. So then you have the 1-2 punch with him and Zach Moss, which, like I said, like if JT plans on playing week 1, I don't see a reason to go sign Kareem Hunt when you have a Zach Moss who will probably be back week 1, week 2. So you're not really pressed to bring in an extra running back. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So that's why I say like either he's gone or the injury's a lot worse than we think it is.
And when Lou said that, I said, "Oh my God, Lou."
Well, no,
What
also
if-
remember AB, I said too, he was out of practice today. He's been at practice all week or
Yeah.
the whole time for camp. He's been there. Even
Yeah.
though he hasn't dressed, he was gone today. They said it was an excused absence for rehab, which it could be rehab for sure. It could be rehab, but Shane didn't say if it was at the facility or if it's somewhere else. He could be doing physicals for other teams to see if the injury's legit or whatever, prepping for trade packages. I don't really know. It's just speculation based on the timing of everything.
And I said, "Oh my God." I don't know if you was on, Mark, but I'm like, yo, what if they're trying to do like a Zack Martin JT trade?
Hey, I'm gonna let you know right now. If
It's
y'all
like
was
the
to
NBA.
trade
Like
Zack Martin,
I know, but like we need a running back, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like
if the Colts was to trade get Zack Martin off Jonathan Taylor, their GM is the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Hey, I need an upgrade at
He's
right
the
guard
GOAT.
anyway.
He's the GOAT.
I need an upgrade at right guard, man.
You make their offensive line stronger with Anthony Richardson and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt will definitely rush for 1,000 yards.
If Big Q returns to form, Big Q returns to form on the left side, and you got Zack Martin on the right.
Zack Martin? How you got
right, let's
Quentin
move
Nelson
on.
and
Let's
Zack
move on.
Martin?
Calm down. Y'all getting so excited
Y'all
about
GM would be
what's
the
not gonna
GOAT,
happen
Lou.
because he ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely, Shaggy. The Cowboys would lose that trade 100% if they make that trade.
Sure. But what I'm saying,
pretty sure the Colts
100%.
would give up something else to get Zack Martin.
I understand that would be a horrible mistake by the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just saying,
terrible.
I know my front. Well, maybe I knew my front office. My front office has changed, by the way. So maybe I don't know them as well as I thought that I used to. They've changed. They're not that. But I could see it happening, and that would be insane. What else is insane? Let me tell y'all what else is insane. We about to do this quick little betting segment because I'm excited. We just talked about putting money on Chris Jones, and we sliding over to our MVP bets. Pull out your phones, check out FanDuel for these 3 names that I'm about to give you that are sitting at the same odds despite, I guess, their different paths and different areas in the league at the moment. You got Trevor Lawrence on FanDuel plus 1,600 to win MVP. You have Aaron Rodgers on FanDuel to win MVP at 1,600. And then you have Lamar Jackson. Is he still at 1,600? Because I thought I saw 1,400. Okay. Because I think BetMGM got him at like 1,400. He's still at 1,600.
FanDuel got him at 16.
16. All 3 of those guys. That's really, really, really good value. So I'm going to come at you, Lou. If you had to pick between the 3, who would you choose? That value is just so freaking good. Vinny, please. Vinny, come in here. Just weird, man. He just come in here.
Daniel Jones winning MVP.
Vinny, let me say something. Daniel Jones odds got to be at like 3,000 to win MVP.
I ain't gonna lie, Vinny. Daniel.
I just looked it up. It's at 7,500.
Only way Daniel Jones winning MVP if it's in a flag football league, because he damn sure ain't winning it.
That's wild.
How you see that so fast? That was hilarious.
I'm on FanDuel right now.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones winning the MVP in the 7-on-7 flag football league. He not winning.
Actually, I'm gonna come to you. Have who you got? Who you got winning that? Out of the 3, tell me who and why.
I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna put my money on Lamar Jackson. I feel like the Ravens finally got him some weapons with Zay Flowers and Odell Beckham Jr. Got him an offensive coordinator that's going to stretch the field to show people that Lamar really has an arm like he did in college. I feel like Lamar has been disrespected the last 2 years because of injury. So I get it. You know, the NFL is what have you done for me lately? So, and I feel like Lamar is going to put the league back on notice. So I'm going to put my money on Lamar Jackson. All 3 quarterbacks is definitely a great bet, but I'm going to put my money on Lamar Jackson to win MVP. Yeah, I'm going with Big Trust.
You know, I know everybody wants to crown Lamar. No, don't get it twisted. I'm putting some money on Lamar to win. I'm putting $100 on 4 different quarterbacks. Like, but I'm splitting $100. I'm not putting $400 on each
I'm
one.
about to say, let me
rich.
hold some, Mark. I'm about to say, Shooter, let me
Damn.
hold
You
some. That's
throwing
crazy.
bread like that,
Right.
shoes.
I'm about to say, Shooter, you writing that on your tax off? You
It's
writing that
20
off of your
Hey,
taxes?
It's 20,
That's
25,
hey,
crazy.
split it amongst the Sports After
7,500.
Dark crew.
Real
25.
rap. I thought she was splitting 100 apiece. I'm about to say, oh shit,
Split
money,
it
money,
amongst
money,
us. We can all place bets on
money.
quarterbacks.
Real.
No,
Let me hold a
I
little
am gonna do.
$5.
I am gonna do 4 different bets at $25 though. Because I think like what 25 will win me 1,600 odds. That'll win me what 425.
That's a good job.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
But
Not bad.
in the case of Lamar, like the questions I have is obviously Zay Flowers being the rookie. We just don't know how he's gonna look yet. We say he has weapons around him. We just don't know how. We don't know what that weapon is really gonna look like for Lamar Jackson week in, week out. And also, are we 100% sure that Odell Beckham is gonna be the Odell Beckham that we saw with the Rams in that Super Bowl? Because that's the Odell Beckham that we're looking for. The Rams year, and specifically that Rams Super Bowl. So I think we just don't worry, don't get it twisted. I'm gonna put a little money on it. But I think that we do gotta like pump the brakes. So he has these weapons around him. I'm like, can we wait to see if in fact they are weapons? I'm not even talking about, y'all made it very clear the other week. OBJ is not like injury prone. That injury was never done right as far as repair in the first place. So that's cool. But again, that was like 2 seasons ago, him being what we saw. Are we going to see the same guy? He is aging. He hasn't had an all pro season since he was with the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make sure that he's going to be this weapon. So with that being said, who would I go with? I don't know yet. I'm going to think about it for a second. I'm coming to you, Guttles. Who you got for MVP out of these three?
So yeah, you didn't even have to say these three. This is who I have win MVP against anybody this year, not just these three. And I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. I really think you see an ascension this year. It's year 3, but it's the second year in the same system with Doug Peterson there. I think you see a natural progression in his game. Last year, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 25 TDs, only 8 picks, a good TD to INT ratio. But I think you see those numbers balloon a lot this year. And because they got a guy named Calvin Ridley in the fold now. And if you've seen some clips, I think he's getting back to himself. He's still a great route runner. I think he has a chip on his shoulder after being gone for a full year last year. You still got Christian Kirk there, ETN at running back who can catch the ball at the backfield, Evan Ingram at tight end. And I think their division sets up for them to win a lot of games because you have the Texans in that division. They're not ready to win right now. I think you sweep them. Sorry, Colts. I think you get swept by the Jags too this year. And then you got the Titans who they probably split because they got D-Hop now. But overall, that's a pretty good division for him to rack up some wins. And a lot of their marquee games they have this year are all at home. So we're going to see them play against a lot of top-level talent. I think you have to consider the schedule when you think about this too, because we're going to see him play high-level opponents like the Chiefs. You got them in Jacksonville. You got Buffalo in Jacksonville. You got the Niners in Jacksonville. You got the Bengals in Jacksonville. Like all their big-time games are at home. So if you can win a few of those games and look good, I think that helps his MVP case as well.
I didn't know he saw all them. Damn, the Jags got a toughie.
I ain't gonna lie. Mark, he definitely sold me in to put some money on Tilo. I'm definitely gonna sprinkle
Yeah.
Well, I was
some
sprinkling
on
some bread on him
My
anyway.
boy presentation was all that. Okay, make sure y'all. Hey.
Follow Mark Gunnels. Follow.
Make sure y'all follow my boy Mark Gunnels.
I'm all in on T-Law this year.
Yeah,
man.
I see. Even over Mahomes, you're not sprinkling nothing on Mahomes.
Nah, just because
He won't do the back-to-back.
it's hard to win back-to-back, and his odds aren't that great. So
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, Mark. I am upset that I did not get in on that last year because I knew Mahomes was gonna win MVP, and
the narrative was there last year.
It was there, Mark. That was a layup, and I'm mad I didn't get in on that.
Yeah,
I'm coming to you after this, Lou. Speaking of narratives, I found out who my guy is gonna be. I like Aaron Rodgers to win MVP, y'all. I like Aaron Rodgers to turn that Jets franchise around, dethrone the Buffalo Bills, who aren't making the playoffs anyway, dethrone the Buffalo Bills in that division. I said what I said. Y'all can go run and tell Bills Mafia. It's cool. I I feel like that the narrative is there as well. Mark is all set up. He's in a new city. He's wearing a different shade of green. He's in New York, the Big Apple, the Jets. Even if the Jets just win that division, that's a top 4 seed in the conference. I don't believe that he'll deal with a high turnover, ratio, turnover number. His touchdowns are going to be there. I like Aaron Rodgers to win this award. I'm actually surprised that his odds are at 1,600. I think that he should be a little higher on the board as far as a favorite go. I like Aaron Rodgers, man. I like the pieces around him. He brought some folks from Green Bay with him. He's familiar with the talent that's around him. They have a pretty tough schedule, but I mean, is that tough when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers here? I just feel like to kind of go out with a bang in a sense, and this won't be his last year playing, but to make a mark on the AFC East, I think push the wrong button. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I got Aaron Rodgers. I might put 50 on Aaron Rodgers. That's how confident I am.
She back?
Can y'all hear me?
She back.
Yeah, you're back.
I
You
was
back
like,
now.
oh, what's going on?
I think I might put 50.
I was like, hold up.
I've been back. I was talking. I think I might put 50 on Aaron Rodgers. That's how confident I am.
You
Wow.
put 50 on Aaron Rodgers?
I think I might put 50. Dang, it's just 50. I think I might put 50 on Aaron Rodgers. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, it ain't tricking unless you got it, shooter. It ain't tricking unless you got it.
Narrative with Patrick Mahomes, I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all don't see the narrative.
I mean, the narrative is definitely there with Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, we're not with Mark talking about Trevor Lawrence. He ain't talking about the man having these crazy like numbers or anything. I mean, obviously it got to be MVP caliber numbers, cool. But win the division, Aaron Rodgers is going to get his numbers anyway. You came and kind of shook the AFC East up, who's been dominated by the Bills since Tom Brady left the division. I like what's
I'm with you. I get what you're saying, shooter. Like the narrative is definitely there, so I get it. It's not a
talk
bad
to
pick.
me, Lou.
Yeah, I'm at the same spot you are, AB. I'm going with Aaron Rodgers as well. And the reason I'm going with him is, like you said, the narrative is set up. Just like with Patrick Mahomes last year, the narrative was set up for him. You know, Tyreek Hill left. He had a good season in 2021, but it wasn't a great season. But then he bounced back with a great season. And I feel like that's what Aaron Rodgers is about to do. Everybody wrote him off, you know, after last season. People started writing him off. Not everyone, but people started writing him off after last season, and saying, you know, he's pretty much washed and stuff like that. So I think the narrative is set for him where it's a bounce back season. He didn't have a great season last year. They didn't make the playoffs last year because they lost to the Lions in the last game of the season. And I think switching teams, getting that new energy that he has now, and then you have a great young talent like Garrett Wilson, I think he bounced back, and I think he has one of those seasons, those MVP caliber seasons where you see the high touchdowns, low interceptions, single-digit interceptions, because that's what happened last time he won MVP. And then I feel like they're going to get Dalvin Cook, and I think that helps his MVP case. So I with all those things happening, I feel like there's something special with the Jets this year. Not saying really Super Bowl special, but I think it's going to be something a little special season for them. And I think Aaron Rodgers wins MVP.
I mean, when you consider the landscape of the AFC, right? That's really the biggest shift of the landscape. That's why, I mean, we talked about how great the AFC was last year, but just one man really shouldn't have all that power, because Aaron Rodgers coming over to the AFC literally got people like, oh, the AFC East is going to be the toughest division in football. Oh, it's going to be multiple teams that's going to miss the playoffs because it's just like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we were kind of saying that little narrative last year, but Aaron Rodgers is just that good. He's that good. He's going to move the needle beyond, you know what I'm saying? And I think, like Lou said, man, when you consider all the moving parts, yeah. Oh,
they
first,
not bad at it.
fall off a cliff. They don't think he'll be able to go into his 40s like Brady did. All these narratives. Oh, he dog. It's a setup.
It's
And if
definitely
he
there.
makes it through those first 6 weeks,
Aaron Rodgers.
those first 6 weeks are really like tough games,
Then
they got their bye week. I think if he makes it through those first 6 weeks, it's especially if they make it there like with a really good record. I mean, it could really help his
like
case.
if he come out of those first 6 weeks, what, 3-3?
Nah, you got to be better than 3
not
Like
and
the
3.
win
4-2?
MVP. He got to be 4-2, 5-1.
Yeah, you got to be
He
better
gonna be
than
looked
3 and
at for
3.
MVP.
Yeah,
He got to be
yeah.
better than 3
I'm
and
just
3.
saying, if he come out 3-3 and they go on some crazy run after that,
I mean,
that's
that
No.
could happen. That could
talk
happen.
I
That
mean,
could
that
happen
can
too.
happen.
But
That can happen.
the schedule gets a little bit easier down the stretch. So that's what I'm saying. Like if
man.
you
Yeah,
the
he
first
got to
6
start off
games,
strong.
you got to start off strong because the last games you can kind of coast. But if you start off strong with those first 6, you can kind of coast with those last ones because they're like easier games.
And to even back up what y'all saying, I mean, y'all definitely waking me up to this. This is why I picked the Jets to beat the Bills the first game of the season.
They're gonna set a
That makes
tone.
that makes
They're
a
gonna
lot
lose
of
it. They're gonna lose
sense.
it next week, but they
They're
trying to
gonna
set
make a lot. They might beat y'all 2 and go 2-0. But
a tone.
listen, that makes a lot of sense if you doing the narrative, everything that's surrounding them. If they was to start off 2-0 after beating the Bills and the Cowboys, I mean,
Yeah, he definitely has the narrative. If you're on that side, I get what you're saying, but I'm just not on that side. I think the Jets are going to miss the playoffs this year, and I think that
whoa.
I think that
That's Mark. That's definitely been Mark's little,
I think that early schedule is gonna be hard for them to come rebound from that, especially when you have a new system, new quarterback. I think it's gonna take a little time for things to gel, and I don't think the schedule does them no favors to start the year because I think they're gonna start off 0-2. I think they lose to Buffalo and Dallas the first 2 weeks.
well, they sure losing to Dallas.
Yeah,
But
that schedule is
I
brutal.
honestly,
It
I-
is brutal, Mark.
it's very brutal. I get that. I just think that they are going to understand the importance of winning that divisional game more than the Bills will. I think that they understand how important it is to set a tone in the division. And I honestly think, I don't know, Mark. I feel like you know what I'm saying. I mean, what is it? It's you not giving me the Aaron Rodgers energy you would usually give me. I feel like you're doubting Aaron Rodgers. If this was Aaron Rodgers with this same squad in Green Bay, you'd have them 2-0. You have to know if they were in Green Bay. If they were seeing the Bills first, and he had a defense and he had his weapons, you would have them.
But that's different though, because you have continuity in Green Bay. He's in a whole different situation now.
He's in a whole. I mean, didn't he bring some folks over from Green Bay with him as far as the
Alan Lazard and Cobb?
But it's still a different system.
It's not a different system because Hackett is there. It's the same offense he ran in Green Bay.
Yeah, but it's not
Hackett was his offensive coordinator in Green Bay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the same offense.
I think Hackett will definitely
it's just a different personnel, but it's the same offense that they ran at Green Bay. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I don't like
the
their
same
tackles.
I think Hackett was.
I don't like
run
their tackles.
Oh yeah, their tackles are.
I don't like their tackles.
Green Bay because Hackett was off. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying though,
so you know their tackles are trash.
The system is still the same, but the players still have to adjust to him. Like it's still a different team. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
My thing with that though is if Aaron wasn't in camp, like he would be in Green Bay because he never went to camp.
The man never went to camp. He never went to camp.
If he wasn't there, then I would say okay, yeah, there might be a lot of adjustment. But he's been there since OTAs. He came to training camp. Like he's reported for everything to try to build.
You guys think they hit the ground? You think they hit the ground running with no issues?
I don't know if they're not gonna have issues.
And he took a 30-foot.
Okay, all right.
And he took a 30.
But like I said, I also think they get Dalvin Cook.
He took a $35 million pay cut.
They
gotta account for something.
If they get Dalvin Cook, Mark, did your stance change?
No.
If they get Dalvin Cook,
even if they get Dalvin Cook,
no,
they don't make the playoffs.
Wow.
Oh no.
So wait a minute. Let's.
Mark, if they get Dalvin Cook, you still don't got to make in the playoffs.
They're a better team than you don't think that there would be a better team at the end of the year to get a playoff spot, even over the Dolphins?
No.
Wow.
No.
I can't. Come on, Mark.
Look at their first 6 games. They might start 2-4.
And that's very possible.
Game with one of the
greatest. Buffalo, Dallas, Kansas City, Philadelphia, New England. This is not easy.
Yeah, their first 6 games is crazy.
Denver's not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be an easy game. But if they get Dalvin Cook, bro, they get Dalvin Cook. Come on, Mark.
I still don't think they're a playoff team. I just don't.
That is crazy. Even with
That's
okay.
crazy.
I'm just surprised that you're saying this, Mark. Like,
I mean, one thing about you, one thing y'all gonna learn on Sports After Dark. Everybody on here gonna stand on their 10. So if they make a
yes.
statement, they standing on it. It ain't no
Look at their,
Definitely
backpedaling
standing
on
on
look
their
at
against
their
the
shit.
wall.
offensive
He said,
They
tackles,
gonna
Vinny,
stand
bro.
on their 10.
Vinny
Their
said,
offensive
I'm
tackles
truly
are
intrigued why
terrible.
you don't feel like that about Jacksonville.
You said, say it again.
Vinny said, but Mark, I'm truly intrigued. Why don't you feel that way about Jacksonville?
I mean, look at their division.
Your division is
And
their
then also,
division
like
is
you said,
light. That's not the
They have the
same.
Texans and Colts in their division.
Yeah, their
hey,
division is not the
relax.
same.
The Colts that
No,
beat the
no
Chiefs
shade, Lou.
constantly. Like
No
what?
I mean,
shade,
but y'all
Lou.
not competing for a division title this year. Like, let's be
Yeah,
realistic. Like,
no
I
shade,
I
Lou.
mean,
Y'all
I
division.
get that.
don't
I
know.
get that,
I
but that
really
don't
don't know.
mean we can't give them fits.
The
We always
AFC
give them
South is
hell,
I
not
know,
the
especially
but
when they
same.
come to
we're
Indy.
I
comparing the
think that
South to
the
the
AFC
East.
South is
Like,
going to be more
No, I
competitive
know,
than
but I'm
The
y'all are
saying
giving it
AFC,
credit for.
the
it is
AFC
going to be
East is
more
going to be
competitive
far
than
more
than people think.
More
competitive than the
competitive.
AFC South. We all
I
know
mean, we
that.
know that, but what I'm saying is I think that the AFC South is going to be more competitive than
It's
I
not
think
going to
that
be a
the AFC
cakewalk.
South. Just when
No,
you
it's not
talk
going to be a
about,
cakewalk. I agree with you.
I think what Vinny is saying is this though. When you talk about the games that the Jets have with a Trevor Lawrence, and then you compare the games that the Jags have with the Trevor Lawrence, and you consider the games that the Jets have with an Aaron Rodgers, like they have some tough ass games too.
yeah, but they're
And you
all at
compare
Yeah,
home.
because
them.
They're
they're
all
playing
at,
the first
but they're
the
all at
first.
home, and they're not like back to back. Like the Jets' first 6 games are all brutal. The Jags first week they played the Texans week 1.
Yeah,
Like,
But the Jags,
the Jets' first 6
nah, the
games
Jags
is
play the Colts
crazy.
week 1. But
oh, it's the Colts. Okay.
the Jags back end is where they're going to catch hell. So like while the Jets are all like up top, top heavy, the Jags is on the back end. That's where they going to catch
Yeah.
hell because
Like the
the first 6
schedule,
games for the Jags are light.
the
And
placement of your schedule matters when the games are being played.
but I don't know how much it matters for MVP because when it's time to start making a playoff push and put your team in a position to get there or win a division and get in a certain seating, I think that's when voters really, really start paying attention because the first half of the season or those first 6 to 7 weeks, we all know that every team for the most part is still looking for that continuity. They're still building all of that, especially when it comes to like new teams and new pieces. I don't know how much the MVP voters are going to hold that against Aaron Rodgers. That's why I was telling y'all before, even if he come out of that 6-game stretch 3-3, I don't know how much the MVP voters are going to hold that against him, knowing the continuity, knowing they have to get it together. But let's say they win 7 straight after that. Now they sitting at 10-3. Like what?
But I think
That's why
also
I'm
what
I will
like,
Mark
say
is
and,
saying,
this.
like
and
the
now we're
Jags
at
don't have to
playoff push
worry.
time. Is getting later in the season. Everybody's battling injuries. Everybody's hurt. Folks is tired. Like I think
I
that
mean,
Yeah, but
but honestly
I
though,
say with
but
go ahead,
real
Mark. You
quick
got
though,
it.
Exactly, Shaggy. That back end ain't easy, bro.
actually it's beyond the first 6 for the Jets. Actually, it's the first 8 because after that bye week they have to go to they're staying in New York, but they're playing the Giants. It's not going to be an easy game. Then they play the Chargers.
No, it's not. Yeah, I feel
So
like
it's
when it
the
comes to
first.
MVP, go ahead, Mark. My bad.
No, I'm saying so it's really the
I ain't want
first
to cut
8
my boy
because
off.
the Giants and Chargers. After that, it's not going to be easy either.
I just feel like when it comes to MVP, you got to start off strong. Look at everybody that was considered for MVP or even won MVP. It wasn't what you can't start off slow and then come on strong late and think you're gonna win that award. You got to be strong from the beginning,
You got to
coasting
be
on out.
consistent.
You got to be consistent. You can't start off mediocre and then the last 8 to 10 games and then think you're gonna win MVP. Don't work like that.
and that's fine. That's fine. But y'all are also telling me that it also matters how. So if he loses certain games early on and he's not the cause, and then they catch fire at the end of the season, don't tell me he's not going to be in MVP conversation.
Nah, shooter.
I think he will.
You got to start off strong.
Here's the reason. Here's the thing though. You have the narrative. You have the name as he has a ton of cachet just because he's Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what y'all say. Like they're gonna consider if they leave that 6-game stretch 3-3. You said 8, Mark. If they
Really
leave
the
that
first
8-game stretch,
4-4? Hell no.
You can't already have 4 losses. That's too many losses.
You can't have. Yeah, that's too many losses. That's too many losses.
The Chiefs were 13-4 last year.
That's what I'm saying. Hell no, they can't be 4-4.
All right, even if y'all are just
they got to be 6-2.
I would agree with that. I
5-3.
The difference is that 17th game, dog. Like that extra game That's making a difference. And there's no way you're gonna tell me that if they in a tough spot and this man Curry potted in people's to 7-8 straight and string along wins to get to the playoffs, they're not gonna consider him for MVP. And he got a high touchdown and low interception rate.
They may consider it, but if you talking,
I'm sorry, I think that they'll consider.
But shooter, if you betting your money on it for him to win it,
yes,
him being considered and winning it is two different things. If he got a chance to win it, he has to start off strong.
He wasn't supposed to win it the year that Tom Brady won it, and he still won it.
What you mean? They beat a lot of good teams that year, and his stats
there was
proved it, and they were the number one team in the NFC.
Somebody else better to be considered, and they still went with Aaron Rodgers.
Shooter, they were the number one team in the NFC that year. He won MVP.
Yes,
Brady,
he was.
Like what? No, he wasn't. Brady wasn't the better quarterback.
No, Brady threw the ball more than anybody that season.
He did. And Aaron Rodgers had the better numbers
that season.
Aaron Rodgers had the first of all, Brady was throwing the ball 800 times a game. Aaron Rodgers had the better numbers and they had the better record. They were the number one team in the NFC. Like, come on.
Just say this. Let me say this before we move on, because we got to review week 7, week 8. We definitely want to touch on AD real quick before we got to head out. My boy Mark got a little situation with my nephew tonight. Ooh, Mark is back to school. Are they back in school already?
They're starting, next week.
Good grief.
Dang, y'all go back to school quick.
Early. Yeah, they go back to school early out west. That's and crazy. Like down south. I think like Atlanta didn't already started schools and all of that.
Yeah, down south was early.
And they get out in like May. Like East Coast, like over here, my kids don't start school till the 28th, but they don't get out.
My sons don't go back to school till September. So they're around.
Lucky.
Yeah, my son go back to school on the 28th.
Yeah, they're around like a ball head. They're around.
Yeah. I will say this. Talk soon when Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying, win that MVP. After starting those first 8 games, they got a bye week in there?
The bye week's after their 6th game.
After 10 games, they might be sitting at 6-4. Is that good enough?
Nizzy.
And then they'll go crazy after that.
After 10 games, they got to be 7-3.
Okay, we'll see. All right, so we got to move on. Listen, we're gonna preview week 7 and 8. Y'all know we do these weekly previews where we talk about the most anticipated games for week 7, week 8. They might not be as anticipated once the week comes, depending on how the teams are going. But we got one game for y'all in week 7, and we got one game for y'all in week 8, right? Just one. I think we all, because what are these? These weeks must have been kind of mid.
Yeah, they was.
A little mid. What's up, Roscoe? All right, so week 7, highly anticipated game for us. It looks like the Dolphins against the Eagles. So before we even get into this, how do y'all feel like up until this point? Where do you feel like the Dolphins are? What they gonna even look like coming into week 7? What do we think that the Eagles gonna look like coming into week 7? I think the Eagles are probably gonna be sitting at a 3-3 record. Why is that a bad thing to say? They probably
because you a Cowboys fan. You know,
Cowboys. The Eagles gonna be 3-3.
They might be 3-3 at week 7. This is going. Let me tell you something. This guy, hear me now. This is gonna be like they need this win. They're gonna be desperate for this win. When they see the Dolphins, this is in. I think this is in Philly.
Yeah, it's in Philly. Yeah,
it's in Philadelphia. Oh goodness, it's at the link. It's at the link.
Actually, I don't think you looked at the Eagles' schedule. There's no way they're losing 3 games before this. No way.
I know what it looked like. It's
a Cowboys fan, Mark. That's that Cowboys blood coming out.
The best team they play before this week is the Jets.
Yeah, she a Cowboys fan, bro. You know how it's going.
Why do they have such a soft schedule when they like made it to the Super Bowl?
No, the back end.
They have a first place. They have a first.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Their back end schedule was crazy.
Yeah.
The end part, okay. Well.
And we in the middle of that, and we're gonna punch them right in their head.
All right.
Respectfully.
What are y'all? Week 16? Oh, that's the
week 13. That's circled on my calendar for sure.
Oh, he trying to get back so bad.
Yeah, for sure. And I might go to that game.
First, talk to me about Eagles Dolphins.
I could touch on it. Going to
be healthy.
Yeah, let Mark go first.
Is Jalen Hurts gonna be in MVP talks? There's a couple of people in the chat that was upset we didn't mention Jalen Hurts in that conversation. He's not at 1,600 though. Those were for like 1,600.
I think Tua will be in MVP talks at this point though. If you
Is he plus,
remember,
I think he's plus 1,600 on FanDuel as well.
yeah, but remember before he got hurt, he was actually getting a little buzz for MVP because he obviously Tyreek had a career year, Waddle was going crazy, and just that system in general with McDaniel there is really good for him to get the ball to the playmakers, and he's very accurate when he has time. So I do think this will be a fun matchup. I think you could see a lot of points in this game. I know the Eagles have a great defense, but that Dolphins offense, man, I think they can kind of get their own against pretty much no matter who they play, as long as they have protection, like I said, for Tua, because it's hard to guard like Tyreeks and Waddles out there, man, when they're going crazy. So I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think the Eagles do win this game, though. It's at home. I think it's gonna be a little challenging for Miami to come through. I'm a little skeptical about their defense. Obviously, they may or may not have Ramsey by this time. We'll see how that plays out. But I think the Eagles win a close one. We got a storyline there because you got Tua versus Hurts. We know that Tua took Hurts' job in college at Alabama. So I think Hurts has a little chip on their shoulder in this game, too.
Ganos, what's your score prediction?
I'll say Eagles. I think they score a lot. I think it's gonna be like 31-27. It's gonna be
it's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah.
So you don't expect the Eagles defense to show up?
I just think Miami's offense is that good when they're rolling. Yeah.
All right. What's up, Lil?
Yeah, so I'm actually going the opposite way. I'm going with Miami. I think Miami wins this game in Philly. And it's not necessarily because of the Eagles offense. I think it's going to be because of the Eagles defense. They got a new defensive coordinator. So it's going to take some time for that defense to gel, learn a new scheme because Sean Desai, I think that's how you say his name. He came from Seattle. He was up here in Seattle last year as the assistant head coach and assistant defensive coordinator or something like that. So their defense is going to look a little bit different than it was last year. And I think it's going to take time for that defense to gel and get some things right. Now, Mark brought up some good points as far as them protecting Tua. That's going to be the big thing because we know what the Eagles defensive line can do. We saw it last year. The boys had like 70 sacks last year or something like that. So they definitely going to have to protect Tua. But I think with Tua being able to get the ball out of his hands quickly because that offense is predicated on getting into your playmakers' hands. When you have Tyreek and Waddle, that offense went crazy last year. So I do think Miami wins this game. As far as like a score prediction, I think Miami puts up maybe at least like 35.
Y'all don't expect the Eagles defense to show up at all.
It's not that they won't. It's not that they won't show up. It's just a new scheme that I don't think Bradbury and what's his name? Damn, I can't even remember his name.
Slay.
Yeah, Bradbury and Slay. That I don't know if they can really play in. We'll have to see, but it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, Bray said I'm looking at the Eagles secondary versus the Dolphins wide receiver core for sure.
And I expected to be a lot of three, like the one high. They may play some cover for it, but I expected to be like a lot of one high looks. Because once again, he came from Seattle. We know what Pete Carroll's defense looks like. We've seen it for I don't know how many years now. So, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different than what they played last year.
All right, holla at me, Hev.
I can see that too, Lou, but I think they might play a little too high. You gotta play a little too high when you got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill over there. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one. Jalen Ramsey is not going to be there. I think that will be a huge loss for them. And don't get it twisted. The Eagles got two receivers on their side too. They got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and they got a tight end, and Dallas Goedert. That's a top 5 tight end. Their offense is really good as well. People sleeping on DeAndre Swift. He's going to make a difference too for Philly this year too. They're going to see that with DeAndre Swift, they're not going to miss Miles Sanders. So I like the Eagles in this game. Their offense is definitely going to put up a lot of points. One thing I know about Tua, if you get some pressure on him, as we did last year when we saw him, it made a difference. The Eagles got that pass rush that could put some pressure on Tua. But I'm with Mark though. I think it's definitely going to be a high scoring game because you got to be Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That's a lot to deal with. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles in this game in a high scoring game. I'm gonna go 31-28 Eagles though.
I'm going with the Eagles as well. Kill me. I'm going with the Eagles as well, actually. I think that they'll
Wow.
be coming off of that 3-3 start. Again, desperate for a win. No, I'm joking. No, I agree. Tariq and Waddle are a handful, but so is Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. And when you couple the fact that I see Jalen Hurts effectively use his legs, you have a Jason Kelsey. They have that pass rush that Hev is talking about. Again, their secondary is going to be a little shaky, but again, so is the Dolphins secondary. So I'm agreeing with y'all actually after hearing y'all's convincing arguments. It's going to be high scoring. I just think that it's going to come down to quarterbacking play a little bit more for me in this game, and I think that Jalen Hurts is going to win that battle. So I have the Eagles winning something around 31-24. Is that high scoring? 31-24.
That's pretty high scoring. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty high. That's
Yeah.
pretty high.
Yeah. Week
Hey,
8.
when Javon Holland come down and smack Jalen Hurts, we're gonna see about all that.
Yeah, maybe. Got to catch him first.
You
You know,
definitely
Hey,
gotta catch him.
Javon Holland is like
He
that.
he gotta catch me
Hurts
if you
is a great
can, like
runner.
Leonardo DiCaprio. He gotta catch
Hey,
me.
Javon
for
Holland
sure.
could be the one that catch him though. Javon Holland gonna smack that boy.
All right, week 8, fellas. We got week 8. Most anticipating matchup on that week looks like it's the Bengals and your Niners, young heavy. That is going to be. Did y'all play them last year?
No, we played him 2 years ago and we won in their crib.
That's gonna be good. I'm starting there with you. Tell me who you got winning in this game, week 8.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Niners by a field goal. You know what I mean? The Bengals gonna come to play, but we had the crib. Niners by a field goal. I ain't saying too much more.
Doesn't
I'll
matter
take
who
it.
the quarterback is.
It don't matter. It don't matter if y'all at quarterback. We went 13-4 with 3 quarterbacks. Niners by 3. That's all I got to say.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's up, Gunnels?
Yeah, I got the Niners in a close game. This is one of those games where I kind of
Is
give
it
the
'cause you
edge
hate
to
the
the.
Bengals?
You said what?
Is it
What'd
because
you
you hate
say?
the Bengals, Burrowhead?
I don't hate the Bengals. I
Nah,
don't. Yeah, I don't.
They just beat them to win the Super Bowl. You think Mark care about them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark don't care about them.
Do they
Yeah,
technically still own you though, since they have like the more wins lately?
I mean, fine. We have 2 rings.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Talk, Mark. That don't
Okay, that's
matter.
enough. Go ahead, please. Let's
Hey,
talk.
the Bengals beat them and lost the Super Bowl. The Chiefs beat
Right.
them and won the Super Bowl. It ain't
Exactly,
the
Yeah,
same.
Lou.
that's
It
kinda
don't
bad.
matter.
Kinda bad.
Kiss the rings. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, I got the Niners in this game. I think at home, I think they have the edge. You know, it's one of those things where a team traveling all the way from Ohio to the West Coast can be a difficult challenge. And I just think with the 49ers D line, I think they can give them some problems. I know they got Orlando Brown Jr. right now, but if you know anything about him, and I do very well, he struggles with speed rushers. And Nick Bosa is a guy that can line up on Orlando Brown that can cause some problems. They're on that left side. So I do think the Niners edge out and win this game.
Y'all couldn't wait to get rid of Orlando Brown, could you, Mark?
He's just slow. I mean, he's solid. He's just a slow-footed left tackle.
What's your score prediction?
I
Y'all
think
gave.
it'll be about Niners 24-20.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was yours?
I'll go Niners 27-24. I'm not going to disrespect the Bengals offense. They'll be able to put up some points.
Talk to me, Lil.
Yeah, I think, it's the trifecta, man. I got the 49ers winning this game too. The only question I have right now with the 49ers is, again, it's a new defensive coordinator. It's probably going to be a new defensive scheme. But I think they'll be able to gel and, mesh properly. But I mean, that's yet to be seen. But I do think it's going to be a good game. I'm actually with Young on that it's a 3-point game, but I'm like 24-21, somewhere around there. Like the 49ers kick a field goal at the end to win the game. But I think it's going to be a really good game. Bengals going to come to play. As Mark said, traveling from Cincinnati to the West Coast, that's not an easy feat for nobody. Like, I don't care who you are, how long you've been playing football. Traveling, from coast to coast is tough. And I think that's what's going to give the 49ers the edge, in my opinion. And it really don't matter who playing quarterback, because as long as they get the ball in their playmakers' hands, they're going to do what they need to do. Call
me Lone Wolf, baby. Oh, I am rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the San Francisco 49ers. This is in Santa Clara, right? This is in Santa Clara?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Doesn't
We
matter.
had the crib.
Doesn't matter. I think that actually I don't really know who's gonna y'all's defense.
Just say you like picking against us because you're a Cowboys fan. We get it.
Is this
I
your
don't have
Niners?
no
Is
beef
this your
with y'all.
Niners hate? This Niners
There's
hate?
definitely some Niners hate, Mark. It's some Niners hate for sure.
I like T. Higgins. I like Jamar Chase. I like the poise and the decisiveness of Joe Burrow. They brought Mixon back, right? They still got that run game
Yeah.
back, right? Okay. Yeah. Defense not horrible, right? Don't have
Nah,
me
it's
laughing.
solid.
They
They
lost
got
Von Bell.
Hey,
They
what was
lost Von
y'all
Bell
y'all
and-
defense against the
and
run
Bates.
game last year? Heavy.
Our run defense was really good. It was really good against the run.
That was
Really good.
Orions.
I mean, let me say this.
Listen, this is a
Same
tribe.
defensive lineman and linebackers.
This is
Though.
a tribe game for the 49ers. This is a
Let me
tribe.
say this real quick. Our defense is really not going to change. Steve Wilkes already said he's going to keep our foundation the same. He's just going to add his little tweaks to it. So our scheme is not changing.
This
You
is
know
a
what I'm saying?
tribe-
We went from Robert Saleh to D'Amico Ryans to Steve Wilkes. You're not going to really see
Yeah,
a
but
difference.
D'Amico and Robert Saleh run the same scheme. That's my only thing because it's all the Pete Carroll stuff. But
Only thing we y'all see with Steve Wilkes, he going to blitz more. That's the only difference y'all going to see.
All I know is that what time is that game? Damn, did anybody know that game?
It don't matter if it's going. If it's in Santa Clara, it's going to be 4:00 Eastern time. at least.
I'm gonna let me tell you something. I think both obviously y'all's defense is superior, but again, in terms of their both defenses are good enough to make plays. This is another game where it's gonna boil down to quarterback play for me, and ain't none of your three quarterbacks better than Mr. Joe Burrow.
I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo ain't better than Joe Burrow either. And he beat him.
So what?
Okay.
What that
Carry
mean?
on.
What that got to do with 2023?
Carry on.
What that got to do with this Joey B right here?
Carry on.
This one right
We
here.
can make a bet if you want to.
You said that was his first year, right? Was that his year after the injury?
No, it wasn't. It was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
That was his year after the injury.
We can make a bet if you want to. If you really
I don't
like
want.
it.
We already got a bet we need to settle, and we gotta go. So that's all
Okay.
cool. We'll handle that off air. You know what I'm
Say no
saying?
more.
But we already got a bet. We got a bet. We got a Trent Williams bet, and we got to figure out what that is. So don't even worry about that. This is a trap game for y'all because I don't think that y'all start off slow, despite the trolling. I actually don't think that y'all start off slow. I agree that y'all did not have Christian McCaffrey last year. Y'all don't start off slow. Y'all have a quarterback in place. Who knows? By week 8, y'all will probably be at quarterback number 2 already. Stop playing with that man Colin Kaepernick and that curse. I like the Bengals, but it will be very, very close. I like the Bengals 28-24. I like the Bengals 28-24. All right, so check this out. We're gonna throw a little bit of NBA in there before we leave, but it's not. It's all Gunnels. It's all Gunnels before we leave.
Let me do this real quick because check the group chat.
We gotta talk Anthony Davis real quick. Him and the Lakers agreed to a 3-year, $186 million max contract. Just your thoughts real quick, Gunnels, and then we up out of here.
Yeah, so this was a no-brainer to me. I know a lot of people want to talk about AD's injury history, which is fair, and I get that. But what's the alternative? You just let him walk, or you traded so much to get him. You won a championship. He's still relatively young, and you're still looking past the post-LeBron era, and he's supposed to be a staple of that once LeBron hangs him up in maybe 2 or 3 years, right? So I do think at that point you re-up. After the 3rd year, you still keep him there as long as he shows that he can stay relatively healthy, especially for the playoffs. You got Austin Reeves locked up. He's part of your future plans as well. And you're building a nice core there post LeBron, and you're still good for the now. So I think the Lakers are doing the right thing as far as investing in the future while still staying in the title contention in the present day. You're on mute, Ashley.
You on mute, shooter. We can't hear you.
You all know Anthony Davis when he's at his best. He is a top player in the league, top 5 player in the league when he's at his best. So that's a good move from the Lakers, in my opinion, too. That's a wrap, guys. Week 5 is a wrap with Sports After Dark, After Hours. This was so good. Mark,
You
you
didn't
were
want to
out of
talk about
sync
Tim?
with the red. You were out of sync with the red tonight.
First
Did
of
y'all
all,
like
it's not-
coordinate this in a different group chat
First and
without me or
foremost,
something?
No.
how Shooter gonna
Nah.
wrap this up and not let a Laker fan talk about the Anthony
Yeah,
Davis? That's
I thought
crazy.
you were gonna give me
Oh.
take.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Let him,
Hey, and
hey,
I'm
and
like,
y'all
oh,
don't.
Mark
She a
had it.
Wizards. She a Wizards fan. How she gonna give an
Alright.
opinion and she ain't even a Lakers
Go
fan?
ahead,
That's
go
crazy.
ahead, Kev.
And y'all don't want to talk about
Mark
Tim.
have it. Go ahead, go
Y'all
ahead.
don't want to talk about
No,
Tim getting knocked out.
Go ahead.
No, we don't got that. I mean, it ain't too much to say. Shout out to us, you know what I mean, bringing Anthony Davis back. We needed to keep him around. You know what I mean? One thing about the Lakers, we're going to keep stars around. And it was good to do that. Like Mark said, it definitely extends LeBron's career another 2-3 years. And the Lakers did the right thing. We're trying to compete for titles. Oh, by the way, you can mark this now. The Lakers will win the title this year. You can book that.
Oh, come on. That's all right now. It's really a wrap now. It's really a wrap now, buddy. Nah. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to Sports After Dark After Hours. Listen, we got a space coming this week. I don't know which day, I don't know what time, but I promise y'all we have a space this week. I'm holding us to that. We have a Sports After Dark coming space on Twitter. Gunnels, have Mark. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all are my guys. Y'all know the
Mark
vibes. In the meantime, in between time, see y'all on the timeline. We out. Good night.